Good night, Felicia Dujon.
Good night, Marcia. Good night to your audience. And how are you doing this evening? I noticed that you lost your voice.
Yeah, yes, I did. I don't know. I don't know what happened,
Okay.
but something occurred. Something occurred, and I couldn't miss this of the world. I said
Yes,
I
great.
still have to be here and to have a chat with you. The people were asking for you, so I'm so happy that we were able to do that this evening. Well, ma'am, you look refreshed.
I got some rest yesterday, but a little exhausted today because I did go back to this constituency to thank everyone for the efforts and the work that they have done for us. So that's what I've been doing all day today.
Hold a minute. You're
I can't
telling
hear her.
me
I can't hear her.
you're not hearing me?
But yeah, I can hear you, but not loud enough. So I can hear you little. Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, good. All right, good.
Great.
Thank God. All right, good. Now, the election was today's Friday. The
Yes.
election was Wednesday,
Yes.
and Friday you were back in the constituency pocket rocket.
Yes, I was. It's my duty to go and thank everyone for the hard work and effort that they put in. People came out, people were there to support us, and I think it's important that I return in my soonest time to thank them for the efforts and the work and the encouragement.
Wow, that is simply commendable. Simply commendable. And I hope you don't mind me calling you Pocket Rocket, because, Shelley and Fraser Price is who they call Pocket Rocket, and she's of the same kind of statue, move
Yes,
very fast. She
yes.
wins. Yeah, she's always moving. But that is simply commendable, ma'am. But let's go back to that process, the knowing that the by-election was called. What was going in your mind? What was going through your mind when you were told, well, they actually called the by-election, St. James North is up, it's May 21st. What was going through your mind, Mr. John?
It was time for my team to get ready to represent and defend the people's rights. We had to take every opportunity to speak on behalf of the people and to amplify the concerns that they had. So whether it was in St. James North, whether it was Bridgetown, whatever constituency, it didn't matter. The mere fact that we are here, the Democratic Labour Party, we are here to defend the rights of people of this country and to defend the country in and of itself. So it didn't really matter where exactly was it going to be called. But
Right.
St. North was particularly of interest because this is where the first place I lived when I came to Barbados, as I've said before. So it
Mhm.
was more than an honor to defend them and to find out what exactly their concerns are and why the past MP had to resign or retire, whatever that he chose to do at that point, but also to ensure that their voices were heard. And I think it triggered that we need to get active and we need to go directly to the people and find out exactly what is going on, because we can't defend the rights of persons if we do not know what is happening on the ground.
Yes. And so you knew that you had to get your team together to go. Oh my Lord. And you know what? When I'm looking at you here, and this was actually which day was this? Was the day of nomination day, right?
Correct.
But before nomination day, you had to go to to pay
The deposit, correct.
to pay the deposit. And so you pay the deposit, no turning back now, right? Deposit
Yes.
is paid. I must ask you something. I was there when you paid the deposit. Did you deliberate to bring your passport?
Yes, I wanted to remove all doubt because the Barbados Labour Party used part of my nationality and part of my heritage to use it to attack me. So I thought it was very important to do that, but also to show that every Barbadian, it's not about what your history looks like. It's not about where you were born. It's not about anything about you. This mission is about the people, and it doesn't matter if you. And it brings me back to the Bible. When God chooses people to work on his behalf, he doesn't care what you've done before. He forgives you and you just come in and work. And that has what It has been for me. It has not been my nationality. It has not been how tall or short or big or where I live, where I've lived before, where I was born. It only meant that I need to go in and help, and that it was my duty. That was the only mission that I thought at the time.
Yes. So when you're looking at this picture on the screen, so you did you paid a deposit. It was no nomination day. What's going in your mind right now? All eyes on you, Mr. John. The cameras are there, the microphones, the phones, everybody pointing something at you. What's in your mind there?
Amplify the voices of the people, find out what their concerns are. It's really about the job of what I was tasked to do. It was not about the media. It wasn't about all of that. It just happened that was part of it. It was part of the process. And the reason why I say that, because the majority of times when we had to do those press conferences, I was like, no, I need to be in the community. I
Mm-hmm.
This is not, I want to do this and I know it's part of that, but most important thing for me is getting to the people, because we didn't have much time. And I had to utilize 3 weeks when someone had 14 months. And
Mm-hmm.
so I had to try to manage my time correctly and ensure that it is effective as possible.
Yeah.
And so every minute, every second was important to me, because it could have been a family that I needed to intervene on their matter. So every second was important to me. And that's perhaps why I got that name, because I had to move very quickly to try to navigate the terrain, to try to navigate and to reach as many persons and many families as possible.
Yeah. There are people who might say, Mr. John, um, you assembled the team after it was announced, and what people don't, I think some people are forgetting, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, is that after what happened in the DLP in August, you had to take time to rebuild the party.
Mhm.
So I want to know how much did that affect the preparation. You had a major hit in August, last year. You had to come up with candidates and all of that. Do you think that affected you guys not being in the constituency before it was announced?
That's a very good question, Marcia, because when you think about it, as human beings, when you have those experiences, of course, it will impact on you, it will impact on the persons around you, and of course, members. Many members were traumatized as to what happened on that day when we had the convention, and I believe that you were there as well.
Hmm.
So those matters, as human beings, it will affect us in different ways. But I think what was tremendously different was that everyone understood this is a Democratic Labour Party and we need to come together to serve the people.
Hmm.
It's not about individual interests, it's about serving the people. And I believe once we understood that, everyone got together. And it's kind of very unfortunate that we have political analysts and all of those persons that do not support the Democratic Labour Party is telling the public something quite different from what we know and what we feel and what we sense and what we experience. They're trying to create an illusion that does not exist for us.
Yeah.
So that's very important, because when people do that, it's a form of gaslighting. They're telling you about a reality that does not exist, and they're telling you this is what it is when we know differently. And I think what the Democratic Labour Party has continues to do is to show that this is not the case. Yes, we had internal matters, but these matters have been resolved and we have continued and we have moved on a very long
Yeah.
time ago. And I think people gaslighting, and you've seen it even now with a by-election, and you're hearing the political analysts that are very judgmental and biased in the assessment. It's very subjective. It's not objective where they can look at the bigger picture. Everything is doom and gloom for the Democratic Labour Party. And that is expected, because they seem to be more aligned with the Barbados Labour Party. So they will say anything and not
Yes.
look at what's happening in the Barbados Labour Party. As it stands, we don't have any allegations or people being set up for rape or anything of that nature. As it stands, we haven't fired people for standing up on their rights to speak on behalf of the people of Barbados, considering in terms of the whole town civic center. There's so many issues that the Barbados Labour Party is dealing with, but those political analysts are not saying anything. They have
Mhm.
ignored it. They have kept it quiet, and they continue to gaslight the Democratic Labour Party. So
Yeah.
we are used to those biased judgments. We are used to the gaslighting. We are used to the abuse of authority. Why I say abuse of authority is that you're seeing persons that are claiming to be professionals and analysts in their professions that are misleading the public.
Yeah.
And by doing so, it gives the public the ability to analyze what is going on. Because if we're telling you we're in the Democratic Labour Party and we're telling you, well, yes, has happened and this is what is happening now, and then you have an analyst that is not in the space where we are. We have an executive council, we have a general council, so it's not one person dictating what happens in the party as opposed to another party. So we have to be very careful where we get our information from. We have to be very careful what we take as factual when we
Yes.
know it's not. And as I said before, it's very unethical for people to use their profession to misguide and mislead persons. And I
So
believe that.
so let me ask you a question there, Mr. John. Very important points you're making, but and listening to you, I have to ask you this directly. So people who believe that the 3 weeks, saying that you only had 3 weeks, and the one person here actually saying that, that you had three. You're saying you had 3 weeks, but the opposition leader and everybody knew there was a by-election coming. What I gather from you is that you were trying to get yourselves together after, the big blow that you had in August.
But
Is that
then
what you're saying?
that's, I'm saying that not particularly, but what I'm
Okay.
also saying is that the minute we had an opposition leader in our party, the minute that we were able to restructure the party, we were preparing for election.
Mm.
And our political leaders said that at many conferences
Okay.
that we
Yes.
are prepared. We had already ratified some of our candidates. We had them, we brought them to the public space and all of these things. So we were prepared. So even if they say that we had 3 weeks, as you saw our campaign, we were prepared. There was
Mm-hmm.
not any time that we went on a platform and we were not prepared. It was not at any moment. We were prepared within 3 weeks. We were already prepared. The very same day that by-election was called, we had a press conference. The candidate was introduced. The very next day, or in fact, I think the same day, we were already in the constituency. And so these are some of the things that we need to look at, because it seems that we were unprepared when we were not. And when we look at the results, and I was glad that the analyst, or the so-called analyst, was able to look at that. But if you have a candidate that tells you that they won by 2,700 votes within 14 months, it means that they were only able to influence, 192 persons per month? We had 486 persons in 3 weeks,
Mm.
not a month.
Mm-hmm.
Basic maths, unless something else tells me. And it also tells us the percentage of the persons in a stronghold that came out to vote, which was only 36%. And it's a
Mm-hmm.
stronghold. You'd expect 60% in a stronghold.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that means the majority of Barbados Labour Party supporters did not come out to vote. And that
Mm-hmm.
should raise some very dire questions. And I don't understand why we're talking about a big win if you can win with that kind of number. So
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of questions I think the political analysts need to they need to be objective about.
Yes. Yes.
And I wish to inform the Barbadian populace that politics is not only about numbers. It's not about just sitting and looking at numbers and figures. It's about the people and the concerns and how you intervene on the people. And I think that is what is very important. So in as much as there is a big win, there are still persons that have been disfranchised, disadvantaged in the last 7 years. And that is the policies and that is the position that we stood up for, that we will fight for their rights against a government that claims to care, but really does not care, not even about the people that are in this stronghold. And it had not take the Democratic Labour Party or by-election to raise those concerns, because these were ongoing concerns. And I'm hoping that now that they have regained the reins of governance in that constituency, that perhaps they will take those matters seriously this time around.
Yes, yes. Well, I mean, you were there, I think it's every day since it was announced. Is it every day you went?
Mhm.
You were
Correct.
in you were in that constituency. You still had two young children. How did you manage all of that?
It was difficult. And I didn't expect that question.
That's
um,
okay. Just relax. We're talking. We're women. I have
it,
children,
it
and
was
yeah,
very difficult because and I'm glad in some sense that you raised it, because people believe that women in politics have it very easy.
correct.
We're
Yeah,
supposed to get up like our male counterparts and just go ahead and do like the male counterpart. I don't think he has to think about, or they have to think about what we have to think about. So I saw my children and I made it my duty to see them in the morning. So I would wake up about 5 in the morning, sometimes 4. Um, Wake them up, get them about 6:37, because I would have to get ready for between 7:30 and 8 so that they can go to school and so that I can go into the field. And sometimes when I go to the field about that time, I would be back home about 2 in the morning, sometimes 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. So I never really got to see my children until probably
fine.
5, 6
Yeah.
in the morning. So
Oh my
that's the only
goodness.
time I saw them.
So that was a lot of sacrifice.
Yes, but they
Yeah.
understood. They understood that I told them I was going to help children like themselves.
Yes.
And so when I met on, say, like on a weekend, I would tell them what are some of the things that I saw, the good stories, how many mango trees and different mango trees that I saw, and the toys that some children had. And I met little boys like in their age, and I told them the names and, little things
Uh,
got them excited. So they would want to hear, what are the stories that you have today, Bob? What happened today? Where were you today? So I try to share those images and experiences that I have.
yeah. And as a female, I can tell you, when you turned up to pay your deposit, and when you turned up at the nomination day, women felt so proud. You looked so good. I tell you, as a female, I said, yes, yes, bring it, rocket, rocket, bring it, my girl. I
Yes.
mean, and you, that was something that you were so, I mean, you're always dressed well, but your femininity came out so strong. On those, I mean, all of it. But you're getting home 12:30, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. How you get it put together so fast?
Yeah,
How
but
you-
I think that I'm a praying woman. And so many times there were times that we couldn't do it, and we just had to get up and go. As I said before, you just do not know the door, that who opens that door, because every door you open, when you knock on, you do not know what you're going to be exposed to. And so we always had to prepare ourselves. We always prayed in the morning before we went out. When we came back from canvassing just before lunch, there was a church, the Catholic church is right across the street. We would go in there, pray, then go back to the field, because I think it was very important that we did that, because there was a lot of issues that you had to deal with. Oh,
Yes, and then you would be there, and you're hitting the pavement, and then you're on the stage at night,
yes.
actually, speaking, and dressed up, and all of that. I mean, that is just amazing. That's a woman carrying so many different, we're managing, so many different things. But you did all of that work, lots of work in the constituency. Were you surprised at the numbers of people, the number of persons that voted for you?
Well, surprise, I think I was not. I'm not sure how I could answer that question, but just to be honest with you,
Mhm.
I wasn't really following the numbers per se, because in my mind, I had matters to intervene upon. There were so many issues that I had to address that, yes, I knew they had to go out to vote, which was one part of it. But the other part is there were people that shared with me matters that I had to intervene upon, and my main focus was allow them to vote so that I can continue going to do the work the next day. And that's all I was thinking about. That and I know it's a voting day, that even on election day, we noticed the numbers were very low. We were driving around in the polling stations and the numbers seemed very low. And I understood that, whatever will occur. But I still went around to look at people and constituents that I knew had very grave concerns. I knew they wouldn't have gone out to vote because of the conditions that they were in. And it was very interesting that while persons are thinking about going out and vote, there were people that at home and they're not thinking about going out to vote. They're thinking about, what am I going to eat today?
Mm-hmm.
So these are the kinds of questions that we need to
Mm-hmm.
ask.
Yes.
Very serious question. How am I going to send my child to school? So just remember, previously I was interacting with those constituents, and it's not something that is rampant in the constituency, but there are cases. And when you come across those cases, it really hits your core and it never leaves you. And you keep thinking, how I can intervene, how can I help those individuals? So in as much as you want to win what you're doing, and it's elective politics and you want to
Mm-hmm.
win, you have met those persons and you see what the concerns are. And to me, the most important part is, let me see how best I can resolve this
Yes.
matter, or how can I intervene on this matter. I have a household with 3 disabled persons that can barely help themselves. Who can I get to intervene on their matters? So what I have been doing strategically is that I have been able to place the different concerns and needs into categories, and I will be addressing them in different divisions when the time is right. So it's not a matter of whether we win or lose this. It is a matter of me wanting to still serve and work into the constituency. I feel obligated. I feel a
Mm-hmm.
sense of duty to do that because they place their trust with me.
Yeah, yes. And that is really tremendous. But I want to ask, you were there with the people, and I saw how they received you. I was there that first day. I saw how well they received you. In your heart of hearts, what do you really think? Why didn't they come out to vote? What do you think really happened, Felicia?
Well, you have to understand what was happening at the time, because when a by-election is called, the assumption is perhaps the political analysts did not want the Democratic Labour Party to participate so they can have more negative ideas or more negative thoughts and claims, to say that we were unprepared. And so when we did arrive into the constituency, so when you were in the constituency yourself, as a citizen, you drive up and down. Sometimes you go visit families and friends in the constituency. But when you go way deeper into the constituency, then you really get an understanding of what is happening. And
Mm-hmm.
I believe that the government didn't expect me to, or us as a team, to go directly into the constituency itself. They think
Mm-hmm.
perhaps we just should have done the surface like they have done, like just touch certain areas that seem important to them. But we made it our duty to visit every part of the constituency, every street corner, every village. And that is when I really had to raise the alarm and let Barbadians know this is what is happening in this constituency, and these are the concerns that we need to raise. We
Mm-hmm.
have persons that are very empowered in the constituency. They have persons that are it's a very multicultural society as well. So you have a variety of different nationalities in Barbadians, and then you have different Caribbean nationalities, CARICOM nationalities. You have different professions. You have a different demographic in terms of age groups. And
Yes.
so but I think what is very important is that every society has to take care of the most vulnerable. And so in as much, I would remember going to a house with a young man and a grandmother. They lived in a very beautiful house.
Yeah.
And I told him, and I was just speaking with him, can you support us? And he said, no, we're okay. I said, what do you mean, okay? He said, well, we're comfortable. As you can see, we're comfortable. We don't really need to. But then when we look, and I'm saying, there you are telling me that you fine and you okay, you don't need to vote at all. But a lady up the street, not too far away from him, has 3 children in the house, and only 1 or 2 of them go to school because she has to negotiate who's going to go to school depending on what funds that she has or what
Yeah.
kinds of commodities that she has. And so you're seeing in terms of the inequalities that exist,
Mm.
houses apart, and not even streets or villages, but houses apart. And I think that is what is very important, that we really have to look at the most vulnerable. We have to take care of the most vulnerable. And I think this is what propelled me, that I wanted to reach. So even when my canvassing team told me, Felicia, we've gone there and we've good, I'm like, no, I need to go see for myself. Because I always, not to be gender biased in any way, but I think mothers and women see things differently.
Yeah.
And we were able to speak and touch other mothers differently as well, and fathers as well. But I think my critical eye and analysis of conditions and concerns, like a constituent will tell you, well, we have this concern, we have this matter. So they brought me some places in Yearwood Road where there was like a brook with water coming down. And when I looked at it, I said, well, all of that water is eventually going to go to your basement and destroy your house. So
Yeah.
sometimes people may not even foresee the dangers that they're in. And I guess because of my innate wisdom in some cases, I'm able, because in some cases I was older than the person in the household or the head of the
Yeah.
house. I was like, you need to look at that because this is dangerous. And so these are the kinds of areas, because I always think that a representative is not only someone that comes in and help, but we're supposed to provide guidance and counsel for our constituents. I had to intervene on the beach where 2 brothers wanted to fight. I was like,
Yeah.
so I'm like, oh goodness me, I didn't. This is not what I came here for today. And
Yes.
they're having to intervene and telling, well, brothers, come on, not today of all these. I can, look at you all, you're way bigger than me. But I had to mother them. I had to say, well, this is really not a good situation. So there are many instances I had to intervene on a personal level to show persons that this is not how. So as representatives, I think these are some of the things that you're not only looking at in the issues, but you're also providing guidance for those individuals within the constituency
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, I mean it's amazing that I mean you're able to rattle off the issues because you did the homework, you did the work. You're now categorizing the issues and so on. And you went back in the constituency today, and that
I,
that says you are ready to go again. You're ready to serve, etc. Well, let me just let everybody know that the line is open and it's on the screen. Let's just move that, so that comment, so that we can see the number that you can call in to speak with Miss Felicia Dujon, Pocket Rocket. Call in and have a conversation with her, everybody. But while you're calling in, I'm looking at you and I'm remembering you're talking about the constituency. I mean, it's almost the place intimately. That's where you lived when you came to Barbados. You came at 16 years old.
well, I used to come here at 16, like just visiting my brother, but I officially came in 2003 to live,
Ah,
to study.
to actually live.
I used to live right across from the Western Fishing Market upon that hill near the community center. That's why I was very angry about the community center, because I remembered what it looked like. I remember the kinds of activities that used to take place in there. And so it was very, very concerning that this is what it looked like now, knowing what it was before, and how members of the society and the community had a place where they could have gone and socialize and do whatever kinds of social events and interaction that was best for them, for the youth and children in the community as well. But I
Yes.
think what is very important, it's not just going back and thanking those individuals. When you meet people, Marcia, and I think that's something about me in particular, and I think about most persons, when you meet someone and you have a good rapport with them, and they know that you're coming to do your work, but at the same time you have a good joke, a good laugh. So me, it was just going back like, I'm still here, I am okay, because people will call in to wonder, what are you okay, Felicia? How you doing? We know you got a loss. And I gave that joke last night that I received a call, was it the Thursday afternoon, and this elderly, she's probably about 84, and she called me so excited. She's, Felicia, I saw you on television. Congratulations, you came second. You did a great job. So, and that's the joy that you get from the elders and from the persons. And I went in today, and many of the constituents were very happy and pleased to see me. They said, I was wondering about you. I was like, well, I told you I'll come back.
Yes, well,
Because
that is good.
he
We
let me
have a
know about that.
we
Yeah.
have a caller on the line. Go ahead, caller.
Good night, Mrs. Dujon. This is one of
Good
your
night.
partners, Miss Judy Jones. I'm glad to see you, and I will always be there with you, stay with you, and be at your side. And we always have a good Democratic Labour Party. We are not
Yes.
fighting among each other, and I
No.
love the way that you master your way of walking with the people, talking with the people, and you're a humble lady. I love
Thank
you, and I would always love you, Miss Dujon.
I
Yes,
love you.
she says she loves you too.
I,
I hear that. I hear that. She has a humble voice.
Yes, yes.
We will always be there with you. Whenever you any what do you call it? Canvassing, whatever, and you want me still, I will be always there. If you don't mind, I might got my other people too when the general election.
But you want to make sure you're helping Mr. John.
yeah, and I
Yes,
think
I
that's what.
she's a humble and nice lady, and there's nobody has the humbleness like her. She's so sweet. When I first met her, I thought she was a little girl, but I didn't know she has so much spunk.
I love it. Thank you so much, caller. Thank you. She's appreciating it. Thank you. Yes.
Bye.
Bye bye. Okay, there's another caller coming in. A caller, good night.
Hello, Marcia.
Yes, good night, caller. Welcome to the Marcia Week Show.
I calling to tell Mr. John that
Okay, 1 second. Let's get you speaking a little louder. Thank you.
yes, I'm calling to tell Mr. John I really sure a very
Yeah, can you push your voice or turn up your phone? Speak louder. Speak in the
okay,
phone.
Marcia.
Thank you.
Yes, Marcia.
Yes, go right ahead, sir. We
You
want to
can hear
hear.
me now.
Yes, we want to hear you. Go right ahead, sir.
Mr. John is saying that all of us are behind her. She don't have to worry. And God is with her. She's going to get through because she's a wonderful person. And
Thank
tell
you.
her, keep working hard. 'Cause I'm watching everything that's going on. You see everything that's happening in Barbados. People got to open the eyes. You see that she give us $300, and then today another tax again. You see that? People ain't watching what's going on. It gonna be worse if they don't be careful. Because people ain't looking out for one another. They're looking out for that party, but that party ain't keep then people don't care nothing about them. You understand? And tell me, Martha, what we want you to do for me, right? I will let you to send Ralph's phone number. I need to speak with him.
Well,
I don't want that everything. Please.
well, yeah. We'll speak about that. I will have to send you.
Yes.
What I can do.
And have a good night.
Yes. What?
And she's gonna
Thank you
get
very
you.
much.
Yeah, but caller. Just look. You have to call the DLP office. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, no problem.
Yes.
No problem.
Thank you so much. Thanks for calling.
And tell her enjoy her night. And tell her have a good night.
Yes,
Thank
she's
you very
hearing
much.
you.
Thank you very much. You as well, sir.
Yes, Mr. John. I think somebody is writing here. I love your spirit, Mr. John. Your time will come sooner than expected. Keep believing. Right. Okay. Callers, remember the line is open. You can feel free to call. I know there were people calling from overseas today who said that they were going to call. So if you're listening, don't get shy now. make sure you call the number. Yes, make sure. Mr. John, what would you say would be the greatest lesson, or yeah, the greatest lesson you've learned in these 3 weeks?
Humility, humility, and being humble, and that's what you have to persevere. You go to a house that tells you, "Well, I'm a bee. So why? What are you doing here?" And then you say, "I'm here to help you too." And because of that, they see that, and they see that you're not just coming to get a vote or be political. They take you into the house, they show you outside, they show you what the concerns are. And I think that is what is very important, that the greatest joy of being a politician for me is advocacy, is speaking on the rights of persons and ensuring that the rights are heard.
Yes. Yes, there's a caller. Good night, caller.
Yes, blessings to you, Felicia Dujon. This is Tori Hall, one of your
Good morning.
comrades.
Good evening.
And I must congratulate you on being a strong lady. It will take a lot of people to go do what you do. And the honest truth, I love your spirit that you got this enlightenment inside of you. And trust me, God, the Almighty God is always going to be with you.
Thank you very
The way how your spirit is, trust me, you're chosen.
Thank you.
You're chosen.
Yeah.
And my love is for you always. And even if in election, if you want to go in your constituency, you got my support. I will ride with you. I will go door to door with you and help you as much as possible.
Thank you. I'm holding that to you because there's work to be done. So be free to call the office. I will be starting my programs very soon. I made promises. I made my priority to ensure that those programs and those interventions are done. So I will need the help, whether it's through voluntary, it's financial resources. And I'm sending that message out to the entire Barbadian and diaspora that we will be working in the constituency. It is our duty to do so. We do not know why God placed us where we are. And I think it's important that we do the work. And perhaps this is why we are here today. Perhaps this is the results that we have so that I could work in the constituency, because we know that Barbados Labour Party is not going to do what it says it's done. It's been there for 35 years. So I will continue to do that work. So I will be in the constituency. My office is still open in Rogdundo. There's a number of programs will be rolling out very soon, and I'm hoping that all Barbadians, and including the members of the constituency, come on board so that we can do the real work of the constituency.
Yes. So you need help. Thank you. Thank you so much, caller. Thank you, caller. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. There's another caller.
Rolling out very soon, and I'm hoping that.
Yes. Good night, caller.
Good evening, Marcia.
Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. John. Hi.
Good evening.
I just wanted to say something. Earlier, I think a caller said that Mr. John came second, and I think that they said it best. I don't think that this was a loss for her, but an awareness of who she is. And I think that what is going to happen in the general election is that people now are going to be on their toes. I like this woman. I think that she deals with heart. I think that her heart is really big. I think that she really, really cares. And I think that she is going to be really great. I think, Marcia, one of the things that I have said, I think in the chat, I think this woman has the potential to be even Prime Minister of Barbados someday, and I want to wish her the best, and we will continue to support her.
Well, thank you. Where are you calling from?
I am calling from New York City. I have been following the campaign. I think that she did a fantastic job. At one point, I saw in the paper where Chad Blackman said that she called him fat, and I knew that that was not true. And I said it. I have been really supporting this woman because I think I see a lot of you, Marcia, inside of her. I see a lot of me inside of her. We deal with a lot of heart. We really care about people. And I see that when things affect the people, it also affects her. And to me, that is what a leader is. You know, a leader is not about self. They put people first and they put themselves second. So going forward, I hope that we in the diaspora can do something to assist and help her. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
Because I think that this is really a candidate for Barbados. We really, really need some person like her.
Yes, and I mean, she just spoke about the programs that she's going to start in the community. Did you hear that she went back in the community today?
No, I said yesterday, if I know this person and I've never met her, but if I from the things that I've seen from her, I could not see her not go back to the community the second day. I felt like yesterday was a day of rest. She needed that because I heard her voice was kind of going, kind of like how yours is. But I know that she was going to be on the ground and she was going to be working because that's who she is. That's her spirit, you know. So hopefully, you know, at some point I will get to meet her and do some work with her. I love community
So
work. It is what I've been doing for a lot of years, and I hope that at some point I would be able to assist her.
Well, thank you so much, caller. Mr. John, anything you want to say to the caller?
Yes, of course. As I said before, we'll be rolling our programs very soon. I did send in my manifesto for specifically for the constituency, because we looked at what are the concerns, what are the issues are, and we aligned them with solutions, and we'll be working on those solutions. We'll be rolling them out very soon. And so if anyone wants to donate, you can just give us a call and we will ensure that the donations are there. So we'll be working with children, we'll be working with single parents, both fathers and mothers, with the elderly, and these are some under youth as well. So we'll be rolling out a number of programs that targets those individuals, including entrepreneurs in the community and farmers, because we do have some young farmers in the constituency as well. Also the fisher folk, we have programs specifically designed for them. It's about empowerment. We have to give some kind of donation, and I did say that children in the constituency, I believe that swimming should be part of the life skills that they should have. I did hear that the country has a swimming program, but many schools do not have swimming programs, and I have done my research on that. So I have been able to allocate a particular location and swimming instructors. So we just need the support so that our children could get those programs.
Yes, thank you so much.
Program as well. We have a whole
Thank
program.
you so much.
Yes.
Thank you so much, and thank you for your kind words. Thank you very much. Very
No
encouraging.
Okay.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. Have a good
Thanks.
evening.
Yes. Good night, caller. Welcome to the Marcia Week Show. Caller, good night.
Hi, good night, good night, good night, Marcia.
Yes, good night, caller.
Sure. Hello.
Yes, good night, caller. Welcome. Go right ahead. We can hear you.
First, let me congratulate Miss Dujon for coming in second.
Thank you.
Really, you know, it was a hello.
Yes, we're hearing you loud and clear.
Well, okay, okay. I'm not hearing you, but I know it's your voice.
Yeah.
So I want to congratulate you, Miss Dujon, for coming in second. Don't forget we had 4 people in that race, and you came in second.
Yes.
The person is correct. You came in second. Now,
Yes.
you did answer a couple of my questions, but what I want to ask you, which category do you think was more receptive to you in the constituency in terms of was it the young people, the older people, the males or the females? Who was more receptive to you? We know some of the older folks can be setting the reins. What obstacles did you have to overcome to reach them? I know you didn't have much time to sit down and talk.
Right.
Who was more receptive to you?
I think it would be more of the mothers, the single mothers. And I think this is why I raised the alarm on their behalf. And also the elderly. I met a number of the elderly, and as I think one of the callers said that they thought I was younger than I actually is. They treated me as a granddaughter. So one of them even told me, you turn 19 or 20. I'm like, no. I'm way older because I'm small in stature as well. So that's probably, but I think the elderlies, there's a genuine love of our elders. And I think that's something why I love our Barbadian and our Caribbean culture. The elders always look after the younger ones. So that to me, it's really motivating. But my concern is the challenges that they have to deal with. And I made an appeal on their behalf that the government really needs to look at the taxes that it imposes on citizens. Because when you impose taxes, it does not exclude certain members of our society. So one of the concerns that many of the elders in that constituency would be the sewage tax. And because of that sewage tax,
Okay.
many of them were able, the waters were cut off. To this day, they do not have water at their home. And you could imagine these are persons that may not have children in the community. They may not have, family members that live very close by. So then you have people in the community that bring water, bottled water to them. And I mean, we can't treat our elders that way. I grew up with my grandparents, so it really hurts me very deeply. It cuts me deeply when I see that, when I come to an elder's home and they're telling me, I mean, just the physic can tell you they can't be carrying water. And I appeal to the government that this is something that you need to look at. If you want persons in the society to pay those taxes, then okay, then put an age or demographics on it.